Hey guys, so today's Pilates session is actually quite special to me. We are basically going to be doing the 34 sequence, the classical sequence with different variations, and we're kind of doing the sequence on steroids, except that I did take out a few of the final more advanced exercises. We don't have any push-ups, so you'll see as we go along. I actually suggest you might want to run through it. You might want to see quickly like what it looks like. Or you just might want to go with the flow and just listen carefully to my cueing. The boomerang at the very end is actually going to be one of the easiest parts because it's going to be more of a stretch. So everything else is actually going to be a little bit harder than usual. It's not that we're going for more reps and more sets, but rather we're just flowing through the sequence with almost no breaks. You're going to see that the corkscrew is a very specific version that I haven't seen done anywhere else. I kind of feel like I may have put this little twist on the corkscrew to make it a little bit harder. That's pretty much going to be the pinnacle of the workout. So I just want to talk about that for 1 second, and then I'm going to let you go ahead and do it. So we're not going to be doing the regular corkscrew in the circle. I want to show you just now real quick. So what we're doing is we're going to be focusing on one spot. So I'm going to be turning my legs over to the right, and then I go down, prepare, and then I go around, and then lift the booty, and then I'm going to go again, same direction. So it's kind of like the corkscrew is like a broken record, and it's just repeating and repeating for 5 reps on each side. Okay, so that's going to be the biggie. That's going to be the big deviation, and the boomerang is going to end up being really a stretch. The seal at the very end, I'm just going to tell you right now, can be a little bit. I'm expecting to be a little out of control with the seal because I know how difficult the flow is going to be. So take a moment and clap, 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 rock it, clap, clap, clap. So even though it's one of the more easy exercises, it is a control exercise. We're doing it like the sequence at the very end, but it's going to be tough after all that work. And we took a few things out. We're going to be gentle with a few exercises, and then we're going to go really hard on the others. So if you do want to look ahead and see what we have planned, go for it. And if you just want to carefully listen to my cueing, then even better, I think, because then you get the element of surprise. The only thing that was really major was that I would tell you up front is what we have planned for the corkscrew. And disclaimer, what we are about to do is actually very, very advanced. It's Pilates super advanced. In other words, if you prefer to do today's Pilates as something a little bit more gentle, and if you're not familiar with the classical sequence, I would actually suggest maybe go back to the Pilates channel and just click on the sequence for beginners or intermediate. What we're about to do today is really kind of like the AMRAP of Pilates. it's getting the Pilates session in, working our core in a pretty short period of time and going really hard. So take a moment, maybe look through, see if it's for you. And if not, then definitely go back to one of the previous sequences so that you can work your way up to today's. All right, let's go ahead, and I'm going to meet you at the top of the mat, and we're going to roll down in for the 100.
Okay, coming to the top of the mat, we sit tall, and then we slowly roll down 1 vertebrae at a time, super rounded. And we're going to get ready for the 100. I'm going to go for the advanced version, and we start pumping our arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flexed arms all the way to the last pump, and notice that now we move on to leg and upper body lifts, like a mini teaser. So we exhale up and inhale down into that hovering position. And after 7 reps, where we just hold and slowly roll all the way down, hands above your head. Inhale here, exhale, come into the roll up, flexed feet, reach your arms forward, come down 1 vertebrae at a time. Inhale, Exhale, flex, reach forward, slowly come down, one vertebrae at a time, pointed feet. Flex, reach. And on this reach, notice that I'm kind of bringing my flesh back, making sure my sits bones are pressed into the floor, and I'm reaching my hands forward. And as I swing my hands down and sweep the floor with my fingertips, I come down one vertebrae at a time, pressing my hands against the floor, bringing my legs up and over my head for the rollover, tap, flex open, slowly lower down, bring the legs together, point, overhead, tap, flex, tap. Bring them around, point, tap the floor overhead. Flex, tap, slowly come down. And we're going to keep the flexed open. And then we touch the floor, close, point, slowly down. Now, open, flex, overhead, touch the floor, point close together, slowly down. And then again, open, flex, overhead. Close, point, slowly lower down. And then from here, we're going to go into the single leg circle. So one leg is down, pressed into the floor, abs are working. We're going to go for 2 to each direction. And then we switch, focusing on trying to maintain a steady pelvis, making sure that the toes are slightly looking out and the heel is looking in. From here, we're going to start bringing ourselves up into a little bit of a hover just to make our abs work a little bit more. Like I said, we're doing a few variations today to make it a little harder for us. And then now we're going to come into prep for rolling like a ball. So knees are apart, toes are together. We roll, exhale, hold it and own it. Inhale, exhale, hold and own. Inhale, rock it, exhale, own it. And now we're slowly going to go into the single leg stretch. Right hand outside of right ankle, left hand outside of left ankle, shoulder blades way off the floor. Notice that I'm going kind of fast. And now we're going to go in for the teaser. We inhale down and we exhale around and up, making sure that our legs are moving as one. This is kind of a fast version. And now I'm going to give my top leg a double pulse, bottom leg pulses down. And we switch, 1, 2, 1, 2. And after 4 reps, we're going to place our hands at the base of our skull. We point the legs and lower, we point and lift. We're going to inhale, lower down, exhale up, going right into the bicycles. Opposite shoulder to knee. Making sure those shoulder blades had not touched the floor. And then from here, we're going to bring our hands out, flex our feet, and we transition into the stretch forward. Hands forward, reach your head forward, flex your feet, and sit nice and tall. Inhale, exhale, reach it, and then roll up nice and tall, making sure that you're really pulling your tailbone back on the reach forward and your toes are coming towards your navel. On the last one, just hold the stretch for a minute. Sweep your hands on the mat. And sitting nice and tall as we get ready for the open leg rocker. We're going to have pointed feet. Take a moment to kind of balance yourself off. You can also do this with bent knees if you need to. And then try to really own it at the top. Inhale, rock it. Exhale, own it at the top. Inhale. And exhale, own it. A lot of balance today. And then from here, we're going to slowly work our way back down onto the floor. Bringing our legs up and getting ready for that special corkscrew we were talking about. So we go up and over through one side and we're going to keep going. Exactly what we discussed at the very beginning of today's session. We're just focusing on one side of our obliques and really working down slowly. And again, we inhale and exhale around, focusing on that slow on the way down, moving the legs as though they are combined together into one brick. And now we're gonna go over to the other side. So we inhale, swing the legs around and lifting the booty through the left, slowly down. And then again, half a circle through the left, slowly down. Inhale, exhale. And then at this point, we're gonna slowly work our way down onto the floor just to take a moment and release, going through the side into a seated position, getting ready for the saw. Legs are mat width apart, hands are way out. We exhale into the saw. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, left hand slices the outside of the right foot. Inhale up. Exhale, right hand slices the outside of the left foot, making sure that we are rotating the back hand so that the back hand is looking at the ceiling. Okay, we're gonna go into a little bit of a stretch. So if you're up for it, and you can just take a break if you want, but if you're up for it, we're gonna go in for a reverse plank, placing our hands on the floor, planting them into the floor, lifting the booty up, and just letting our abs stretch it out a bit. And we're gonna continue these stretches and flexibility exercises as we get into the swan prep. So legs are pointed, hip width apart. We press into the floor and slowly lower down, getting ready for the swan. And as we dive into the swan, we are rocking back and forth, making sure that our abs are super tight. And on the last one, we just hold ourselves, stretch it out, and then we're going into the hamstrings. So we go for a kick, making sure that we are coming out of the shoulder blades. Abs are super tight. Notice that I just went to a point flex kick for each leg. And now we're gonna go for the double leg kick. So we have kick, lift, turn your cheek, kick, lift, turn, kick, stretch your arms, lift, turn, kick. And then hold the stretch, lift your arms as high as you can, point those legs, and then slowly work your way back to a seated position. And from the seated position, we're gonna go right into the neck pull, placing the hands at the base of the skull, flexing our feet, and really trying to think about pulling the neck towards the crown of your head. Inhale as you come down, exhale as you come up, and then lengthen forward. Slowly lower your way down, one vertebrae at a time. Exhale, up. Again, pull the neck forward. So you're not aiming for your toes, but you're aiming with the crown of your head towards the wall that's in front of you. And then from here, let's slowly hop onto our side. I am choosing to prop myself up on my forearm so that I can work my shoulder blade and shoulder girdle a little bit more. Let's start with the top leg going flex and point. So it's kick, and then point back, really sweep it back. Kick, point and sweep. Making sure you're trying to keep your pelvis as steady as possible. We switch it to point, flex, press back. Point, flex, press back. On this last one, we're gonna try to grab a hold of the heel. Of course, if you can't, if it's too much, just grab a hold of your hamstring or your calf. We switch to a flex position, and then we move on to the other side. So we flex, point, flex, kick, point, sweep it back, flex, kick. Good. And now we're going to switch it so it's point, flex it, sweep it back. And on this last one, we're going to grab a hold of our heel. So it's a pointed stretch. And then we're going to switch and grab a hold of the toes so that it's a flexed stretch. And then from here, we're going to go ahead into the seal. Your abs are pretty tired, so it's a little bit harder to work your balance here. So we clap 3 times, roll it. There I go, falling. Making myself laugh. There we go. I expected this. After fatiguing the abs, the balance is a lot harder. Clap, clap, clap. And then we slowly lower down. Now we're going to do a special version, or my own little variation on the boomerang that's actually going to make it a very gentle one. So we go through the teaser and then we stretch it forward. We slowly come down, we switch legs, and then we stretch it forward. So take a moment to kind of look at it if you're not getting it. I'm just making sure that it's more of a rocking and a stretch. And then from here, we're going to get onto our backs, pressing the feet into the floor, pressing the back into the floor, and hopping into the control balance. So hands planted into the floor, we lift one leg flexed, and then we slowly bring it down, pointed. Other leg flexed, press it, and then we slowly bring it down, pointed. And again, flex, lift, flex, lift. And then from here, the key is to go down very slowly and gradually, articulating your way down one vertebrae at a time. Slowly get into a butterfly position, allowing your knees to fall to the sides. Take a deep breath. You did it. Well done.